How to repair a battery box on a John Deere backhoe. Battery box is a mess. You can see it's bent, twisted, rotted. Rust is horrendous. The floor is just, held batteries, but it's not going to hold for long. Took the steps off, and we'll get back to them later. They need to be straightened. But cut the bottom of the box out with a torch, and I'll tell you, this box is just beat to holy heck. You can get a better glance at it this way of seeing. What I'm going to do is, instead of messing around, because with this is rotted right out in here, this section the same thing. Well, that side I cut with a torch, but this side is really rotted, or it's thinned a bit. Here's the faceplate, as you can see, for the battery box. I cut the pieces off with a die grinder, the side panels, and now I got to straighten the side panels. Cut the base of this right off, right here, waiting for that saw blade to come. But this will also give you an idea of what it's like. Pretty messed up. Trim the bottoms of the box, got it all nice and uniform, and got a piece of sheet metal from down back in my infamous metal pile. Ground it, cut it to the proper length, and width and such. Then put these magnetic 90-degree hold downs on there, hold it in place. So at this point, everything is completely right in place, held and ready to roll. We're going to start with the front plate, and we're going to tack that in. Eventually I'm going to put a bead right across there, and I'll tack the side plates in, and we're going to go from there. The steps, as you know, are bent profusely, so I got to straighten them. So I rigged this apparatus up. What I did was, to get into the step there and pull down on this one side, once it pulls on that, the next 3 rungs will come along with it as it gets pushed down, and it'll just get pulled back into shape again. The issue was getting underneath it like that. So what I did is, I made like this little teeter-totter system. Piece of 3/4 inch steel right across. These 2 pieces of steel are irrelevant, and it's going to pivot on that, hopefully, and push down on it, tongue of that. So we're going to see what happens. Drawing all 3 right down at the same time. Well, that's a lot of pressure though. Let me take off like a spring. Yep, I'm almost there. That's a start. Yeah. That's a definite start. Huh? Actually, don't look too bad. You look at that. Wow. Shazam! I did it. Basically, put pressure, well, kept the line on here and here, pushed this down, so as this went down, this one pulled on this one, which pulled on this one, and so on, and then this one here bent this side over and straightened it out. This way, you get your proper size. Now I got to straighten this one. This is bowed in here, the other side bowed there, and it's got a twist to it. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on the bends in these large pieces of steel. And usually, wherever you have a bend, when it comes to body work on a frame of a car, of course you can sight it and look and see, or we hang gauges on them and such, but wherever you see a break in the paint, like this line here, that's primarily the #1 source of where it's bent. And it is in this case, but it's also bent right back up into here. I hope I'm getting all this on the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up into the shop press. You might say, well, how are you going to get that into the shop press? up and under that step. Well, just think. Come up, hook across. Now what are you going to hang this thing on? Right here. Mr. Torsion Bar. Right through and across, and that hangs it down. So now I can put that anywhere I want, and I can even raise that up with a plate of steel, which I will put steel across there, and I can focus on exactly where I want to make my kink. I'll show you. You can see it bowing it down, getting it right in the spot that I want it. Here's another way to fix the bent part of the step. You can see how it's twisted, bowed right in here. So what I did was hooked it up to the log splitter, and I got these forks that I got off of eBay, and I set them up on both sides here. This way, the ram pushes on there right at the base on both sides, pushes these forks forward, and it's going to push it right up against that wedge. It's going to straighten it. Yep, looks good. Last but not least on these steps is this twist. You can see by those bars right there how it's got this twist. So if you bolted it up, it would be crooked. So we need to straighten it. Here, I hooked it up to this bar to here, okay, and I put in the vise, and basically I'm just, whoops, basically I'm just, did that slip on that vise or no? No, that did not, couldn't possibly. Basically, you just twist it like, oh, it did move in the vise, son of a gun. Wow, we'll have to weld it to the vise. Right. I'll have to do something about fixing the bike. Actually, I'm taking the twist out already. Well, let's see. Yeah, that's actually. Look at that. That's a lot of the twist problem looks like it's actually hung up right in here, because this is fairly straight. So with here, but not too bad. But there's a hellacious bow in here. So what I'm thinking is we're going to convince it with some flame. Come on, twist again, like we did last summer. Alright, now we're going to give it a little twisty-po. You watch it, we're kind of like bowing downward here. Alright. I can see. Of course, this is not the finished product, but we are well on our way. I did have the staircase on it and pulled it back off, and you can see that for all the bracing, I put extra braces in here and in the corners there, as well as welding it. Welded the plate, side plate to the base plate, and then tack welded that plate in. Put the 45s in the back with angle iron across the back, inverted angle iron right down the center for structural support, for strength. In there. I have to weld this section here onto the backhoe in order to mount this onto the backhoe. So the one on that side is on, but the bottom is busted, so I'll have to repair that on the backhoe, and then weld this one on, and then I'll be able to mount the box on, and I'm going to set up some sort of a perforated plate inside here, so this way the batteries are elevated up off. Oh, there's the bus driver. I'm going to get some more metal off of this old Niagara Mohawk toolbox. Thing's about 12 foot long. I'm going to be cutting it not in half, but in a third of it off, and probably the other 2/3 will stay. I'm going to take this 1/8 inch diamond plate steel off. Wanted to take it off the entire thing, but now is no time like the present. I got 14 inches by, I think it was 20 inches, not sure, but I'm going to cut it off right now. And what I did is when I sandblasted it, you can see all the holes that are through it. When I laid this piece of diamond plate on here, I plug welded it. So I drilled 4 holes, 3/8 of an inch, and plug welded 4 right across there. This way to hold the center of the plate. The outside of the plate, laid a bead around the entire perimeter to give it strength. And in the back, I put this 1-inch square bar to stabilize it. What I added over and above these brackets all down in here, stabilize the box, was this one. I put this one in this morning. This was a bracket inside of a fender of a 1992 Chevy Blazer, and it's about as thick as a piece of rebar. I already had the hole in it. All I had to do was lengthen this bolt and bolt it up and weld it right there, and that'll hold it, stabilize it, so when the pressure pushing downward on the front of this box, it's not going to twist. I have 12 volts protruding out here. How I did it was I drilled a hole about an inch, 7/8 to an inch, took a bolt, and here's an idler bearing that from a transmission of a car, it goes right into the flywheel area, and washer, a rubber grommet. The grommet came from a shock absorber. There's another one, and take another washer and you put it on the back, and what it is the indents in this washer, because it's for a shock absorber, one on one side, one on the other, it's an insulator. And it has an insurance policy. I put a little electrical tape right there. Oh yeah. Let's see if we get on the inside here, which we did. There we go. Come right through. You take a cable, and you hook onto it, like that. And then you take the nut, you crank it on. And you hook the cable to your positive side of your battery, right here. And this way, you've got 12 volts going right from your batteries, right through the insulator out there. So if you want to jump a car or something, hook the jump start, the red cable there, and just hook the negative onto a step or something, and pow, you can jump a car. Pretty slick. Here's the completed box. 100% done. Yeah, hop up on it. See if you can jump up and down. See if it changes it.
No, it's fine. You didn't put the gratings back on, though.
No, I put diamond plate instead. It's nice and strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
It looks nice.
Only if the rest of the backhoe is that clean, huh?
Yeah. Well, it'll match it soon enough, I'm sure.
Yeah.